Dave Birkett here, along with Shawn Windsor and Carlos Monarrez, coming in off camera. And guys, Carlos at least, he and I talked about the season the other day, and here we are on the verge of the first game. Detroit Lions against the Arizona Cardinals, Sunday in Arizona. And, it feels good to have football back. I know you were in the college mode a little bit last week.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is the NFL.
Where'd the summer go,
Murray,
though? That's what I want to know. It's already cold outside.
Quick. It's fall.
I know.
It's fall.
That's Carlos is doing.
But it won't be cool in
shirt.
Arizona. It'll be 100 degrees in Arizona, and the Lions are actually going out there Friday to get not get ready for the weather necessarily, but just to get out there and get acclimated and get ready for this game. So, guys, look, Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, number 1 overall pick. He's going to present some problems for the Lions. I mean, this is an offense, a type of player that you don't usually see in the NFL. And I know Cliff Kingsbury said that maybe some of that is overblown, but I do think that, if there's one thing that worries me about the Cardinals offense, it's what exactly is Kyler Murray going to be, and how do the Lions go about stopping that?
Me?
You.
Yeah, you.
Well, I'm wearing Cardinals red, so why not? I think it's going to be, one thing Kingsbury did say when he talked to us was he doesn't want to let Murray think that it's all on his shoulders. He's got to win the game by himself and everything. I think that's what a lot of people are kind of expecting, the Kyler Murray show, running the pass, the run option, the air raid offense, all this stuff, very dynamic. And maybe that'll come in time. But I think they're going to have to use as many weapons as they can. The David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, whoever they can to keep the Lions, because the Lions defense is as much mystery as the Cardinals offense is, kind of, because we haven't really seen it.
Buying what Cliff Kingsbury's selling on that front, huh?
I think so. We haven't seen the defensive line play together at all. The starting guys. I think we're going to see a lot more variety in the Lions defense this year. So I think Kyler Murray's got to, do what he can, be comfortable out there, get some yards. But I don't think they're going to score a ton of points. They just don't have the weapons. That's
Shawn. We thought this last year going in, right? The Lions played the New York Jets Monday night game at home. Rookie quarterback Sam Darnold, and I think I think a lot of people sort of chalked that up as, hey, the NFL was gift wrapping Matt Patricia, new job, a game, a win to start the season. I don't know, how worried are you about facing a rookie quarterback, seeing this Lions team open against another rookie quarterback, different kind of guy this time on the road, and what sort of problems that could cause?
All I know is when Matthew Stafford was asked if he'd had any memorable season openers, what is this, his 11th, I think? He said, do any of them stick out? He said, well, yeah, last year, right? He was kind of making a joke about it. Yeah. Exactly. That was... Oh boy, I don't think anybody out there wants to think about that too much.
Last year. This isn't last
year.
No,
I know it's not, but it was just sort of funny that Stafford was making a joke about. Yeah, I remember last year.
I was going to say we talk about that Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray. Maybe there's some parallels there, but that's really why the Lions lost last year was because of Matthew Stafford and the turnovers and the offensive problems they had that first game. Quandre Diggs picked off Sam Darnold's first pass, took it back for a touchdown. The Lions just couldn't stop turning the ball over in that season opener last year.
Hey, I'm going to jump in. 2 completely different situations. Patricia has sort of tacitly admitted he was too hard on them in camp. They were not ready. They didn't have fresh legs in the window of that game. You could see it in the early part of the season. Sam Darnold is not Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a far better player than Sam Darnold.
I think Sam Darnold's actually a better player. But
and I'm going to jump in here, but beyond,
and it's in Arizona. That's another thing too. That's going to tip the scales a little bit, is having that home crowd on there.
I know you don't like the idea that it was boot camp, all that, but look, they didn't know what he wanted to some degree, or maybe they did and hadn't practiced enough. So there was a lot of that not confusion, but just kind of getting used to.
Yeah.
So you would think the defense would be a little bit better this year just because of that, being with him a second year.
Oh yeah,
right?
The attrition, right? What did you talk about as far as
40%? Yeah, 40% new roster right now.
Getting Matt Patricia guys, as you like to say,
right?
Whatever that means.
But you know what? I was thinking about it because I thought coming into the season, that they returned a lot of defensive starters, and they do. A lot of those guys are back, but some of those guys are in backup roles now. You look at the defense; it's going to have. Half of it is going to be new starters this year, and really from week 1, maybe more than that. Damon Harrison obviously played the second half of the season. Trey Flowers. If Mike Daniels is a starter, that's a completely new defensive front. Obviously, Jared Davis probably will not be out there. Jelani Tavai, new starter, right? In the secondary, You've got 3 out of 5 new starters. So I agree with you. We know what to expect from that defense. I think the players know what to expect. But, Carlos, for the first time ever, maybe you're right, that there is a little bit of uncertainty about this defense because we haven't seen them play together yet and because there are some new faces on that side.
Well, I think that there's uncertainty as far as we don't know what they're going to be or how they're going to do it, but I think they're going to be. I hate to agree with Shawn, but I agree that they're going to be better. They finished top 10 last year overall in yards. I think they're going to be better than that.
And
maybe
they got
not a huge.
They
amount.
got better as the season.
They got better in the
went on,
second half. As soon as they got snacks, that helped a lot. And I think part of that, like you said, they understood what Patricia wanted. You have more of your guys now, that kind of stuff. That's all going to help. I think unless there's significant injury problems, I would expect this defense to be at least top 10, closer to probably top 5, I would think.
Top 5. Listen to you. Is that Carlos sitting over there?
Yeah, I mean
I got
like
some sunshine in.
So they're going to shut Arizona out, is what you're saying?
Well, it's going to be a low score. Arizona's not. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think that's what's going to happen. But I won't give away my score yet.
All right, look, I've said this, and I think Carlos probably agrees with me because we've sort of talked about this, but this is sort of, this strikes me as a must-win game, right? I mean, because you don't want to get off to the bad start that you had last year and just the vibe around the whole team, around the fan base, around everything. If you lose on the road to a rookie quarterback.
To a team that has a rookie quarterback
I think
for a reason.
The second worst team in the NFL behind the Miami Dolphins.
Exactly. No, if they lose in the desert, they'll be, exactly. I mean, that'll be the season in a way. I mean, at least from the fans' perspective. Absolutely. Not that matters here, but you mentioned the vibe. I think that matters.
It does.
I think that's important. You go, it mattered last year. They never really completely recovered.
No, and I don't know that they still have. I mean, their Lions are giving away tickets on the radio right now, for their home opener. We see that. So it's I don't know. We talked about some of the disinterest from the fans the other day. It strikes me as...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, it's something that I think there's still some lingering effect from...
Prove it, right? That's the attitude out there. You could feel that in the camp. I mean, we talked about that, the three of us, and I'm sure you talked about this with others. The number of people out here was just not what we'd been seeing. And now maybe there are other factors, but you got to believe some of that is, okay, we're finally tired of this.
Yeah. Show me.
Exactly.
All right, so... Again, we all agree that they're going to or should win this game. I don't know that we'll get to our predictions here in a sec, but how do you go about attacking them? What do you expect from the Lions offense? Darrell Bevel, we've seen them invest heavily in the tight end department, but this is a Cardinals team that's without its top 2 cornerbacks, really. So as much as we think Darrell Bevel's going to run the ball a lot and they're going to use these 2 tight end sets, Matt Patricia talks about building very, opponent-specific game plans. Maybe this is one where we do see Matthew Stafford go to the air because the Lions should have a significant advantage, both when it comes to, the quarterback play, having a veteran like Stafford over Murray, who you'd rather want, you'd want on the field, and then the way that they can attack that secondary.
Well, I would think even if they have the 2 tight ends or the 12 personnel, I know that's all the rage right now. The way we're all talking, pretending we're football coaches and scouts and using all that lingo, which is fabulous right now. But
I like when they divide the field, split it up.
Right, but if James and Hawkinson are both out there at the same time, that doesn't mean they can't also run routes.
Oh, for sure.
It doesn't mean they're just going to run. I mean, to me, they can get vertical a little bit.
But if the corners are your weak spot, not having Patrick Peterson, he's suspended. Maybe that's when you can attack them a little bit more on the outside. Whereas, you're going to match a safety up against a linebacker, not those cornerbacks.
Or maybe right. Well, I'm thinking about who just Terrell Suggs is out there, right? Sept. I mean, how much speed do they have out?
They've got 2 good pass rushers, obviously, Suggs and Chandler Jones. So maybe that's part of it. You don't want Stafford, especially, given the questions about him, to take some of those hits that he might be in line for if you drop him back too many times. But to me, this is just a game where they can attack and they can put up some points.
Well, I think that Patricia's talked about this. We saw it last year. They want to milk the clock. They want to would it be slow down or speed up the game? They want to hold the ball, right, so that the defense isn't out there as much. Right. They want to control the game. I don't know if they're going to want to differ wildly on offense in that regard. I'm not sure that they have tonight. From the Cardinals' perspective, you would think, right, they're going to say, prove it. If you want to run the ball down our throats, let's see you do it. Listen, who's Kerryon Johnson? I mean, he had some.
Read Sunday's Free Press and you can find out.
I'm not reading that. Sean. Kerryon showed promise last year. He did, but he's not. It's not like he's Melvin Gordon out there, or one of the elite running backs.
Melvin Gordon's not out there.
That's true. I'm sorry. Ezekiel Elliott. I'm sorry.
No.
He's not one of the elite running backs.
Saquon.
Okay. Good analysis.
So I think they're going to say, hey, they're probably going to play a lot of nickel and maybe dime and say, like, all right, we're not going to load up the box. Let's see you run it down our throats. Take away. They're going to have to help that secondary, right? For sure. That. I think the two tight ends, the genius of it, hopefully, is that it's versatile. You can do whatever you want. You can run, you can pass, whatever. Both those guys are good pass catchers.
And can block, especially
and can block.
Right.
Logan Thomas is pretty good, too. So I think it gives the offense options, but I think they want to be a run-first team, control the clock, all that kind of stuff. I think that's the premise of what Patricia wants, you know. And I think it's going to be interesting to see. Do they change? I mean, I think that's a good point. Do they this is a weak spot in the defense this week. Let's do something completely different. I can't see that happening, but maybe it will.
Dave wants nothing but back shoulder throws all the way down the field, or fly patterns to Kenny Galladay. Or something.
I mean, if I had
that,
Kenny Galladay, I'd probably be starting him on my fantasy team this week, just in case.
But your point,
DFS play.
Your point about adapting to the defense week in and week out. I mean, we talked a lot about that last year with Patricia. That's his thing. Defensively, you can adjust week to week, run different designs. Can they do that offensively now? Because that's what we talk about New England all the time, and that's what New England does offensively too. They don't just do it defensively.
Yep.
And so, can they do that now?
Well, that's what they're selling. All right, so Matt Patricia is going to come in here in a sec to talk to us. So let's wrap this up with a few picks. You said you were holding off. You didn't want to spoil it. So what do you got?
It's close, like I said. Not a big high scoring game. Lions 20-17.
Sean,
I would say 19-13.
Wow, I'll take the over on both of you guys. I think the Lions are going to put up some points this week. I think they're going to win a fairly easy game. At least I think they should. I think my score in the paper was 27-14, something like that. I just, I want to see Kyler Murray do it before I crown him the best young quarterback in the game and really believe this Cliff Kingsbury offense is going to work. So I think the Lions win relatively comfortably on the road to start the season.
I agree. I meant 19-13 at half. It'll be 30-13 at the end of the game.
I thought you were saying your birthday, 1913.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
that's a good one. Good singing.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it on that. Again, Lions kick off the season Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. And look, I think, it's like you said, it's good to have football back. Looking forward to a good year. We all think that the Lions should take a step forward. We'll find out how big of a step that is. For Carlos Monarrez, Shawn Windsor, I'm Dave Birkett. Freak.com.